Hello, this is old Mr. Kent, and this is Saturday morning, and my son and his son are working together to get the fences set up that they're wanting to have set up to keep the goats and the chickens in. And there's my 10-year-old grandson. He's driving that truck. If you've been following my videos, it was the one that was on the trailer out in the barnyard out there, and so then they lowered it down off the trailer. I didn't know they were doing that, but they got it off the trailer, and then they pushed it all the way around the house with my grandson steering, and he did a pretty good job. And so now he's going to put some chocks under the wheels to keep it from rolling. So anyway, I could have got more of this if I would have known what they were doing, but I was just going out to throw some stuff in the trash, and here they came by. So that was something that was kind of an extra for me to see my grandson steering that pickup truck. So anyway, they spent the morning working on all kinds of things, but mostly moving fences around to redesign the place. For instance, if you haven't been following my right there, I asked my son if he needed my help, and it didn't look like he did. So anyway, they're going to go back out now to where they were and get started. So the previous videos, if you haven't watched, I've put up several where they're laying a sewer pipe underneath the road. And originally they said we were going to have to move all of our fences back away from this dirt road right here, and so that they could dig, because this property is built over the road easement. But then they changed their mind and they said, just let us come through inside your fence and we'll bury the pipe. You won't have to move the fence, and everything will be better for you. So that's what they're doing. He set up that temporary fence on the right side of the tractor there, and that fence is actually gates from out in front. When they moved in, there were a lot of gates in the front, and they were like on rollers, and they'd slide open and closed and so forth. So they had rollers and wheels on them. But he didn't want to keep that, so he has taken it down. So what he's doing now, he had that sitting there as a temporary fence while the guys were laying the pipe. So they're all finished with that, and now he's going around and positioning these fences that he's going to be using. And I don't know all of his plans, but that's what. And then over straight up in the right hand corner, that's another temporary fence that they just put up this morning before they moved, or after they moved that car or that pickup truck out of where it was parked, which was right in that area there. So now he's got the fence hooked onto some chains with hooks, and that's a sliding gate, and you can see it's got wheels on it there on the other side. And so it was out in front, and you slide it to get vehicles through, and slide it back to close up your property. But it didn't take them long to decide they didn't need that anymore. So they're moving it. So he took it down, and then he's now going to put it as a temporary fence to keep the goats in when they open up the pasture area there. So anyway, so then my grandson, he's going to take the golf cart and drive down and follow his dad here, and as he comes around the corner. Now, I'm flying, in this part of the video, I'm flying the Mini 3 Pro. Temperature outside is in the 90s, and I wasn't paying close attention to the battery temperature. and it actually got up fairly high. In fact, I think it was, well, anyway, I'll put some information. I've got to go to air data and get it, and then I'll put it here in the video somewhere. So right about coming up here, right about all of a sudden, the Mini 3 decided I got to turn off everything and head back and land. So it did a return to home, and that was the last shot that it made because it turned everything off in order to do a return to home. So after that, I went and got my Air 2S, which is a little more rugged in hot weather, and I should have thought at the beginning, but you know, it didn't seem too hot to me. So now he's gone around and he's got another section of fence that he's going to move, and they're going to set it up there in the pasture so that the goats can graze and not get out in the front part of the yard. So that's what they're doing here. And of course, my grandson is being the gate man and closing the gate. That's a road, so they don't want to leave the gate hanging out there in the road. Wouldn't be very polite. So he's swinging it around, as you can see, and he has all kinds of ideas to use that tractor. And I guess he's creative that way, because I never would have thought of doing what he's doing. But he's only got so many tools, and so he makes use of them. So he's going to head on down the road pretty soon, but first they're going to close that gate up and lock it, because it's got a chain with a lock on it, because they'll be through here in a minute using that gate. So and my Air 2S did an excellent job of withstanding the heat. It didn't have any troubles. And I checked I checked its battery temperature every once in a while I was flying, and it did a better job of maintaining a lower temperature. So they climb in the tractor together to take this take this fence around. And they'll just do the same thing. They'll bring it around and put it there in the pasture. You can see all the open spots where there used to be gates in that front fence. And so they gave up on trying to keep them closed, because there was actually no reason to keep them closed. The neighbors don't. And so anyway, it was good to see my two boys, my son and his son, working together. And for a 10-year-old, I am very proud of that little guy, because nobody would have trusted me to steer. And it's not an antique truck, but it's old. And my son's got it to work on, but he hasn't gotten around to it, and it was parked on that trailer in the back. So now it's going to be where he can work on it after he gets the gates all put in place. And by now it's getting close to lunchtime, and so they put this down about where this is going to be used, and that was the end of moving fences on this particular Saturday. And so there they go. Now then, they're driving into the backyard, and then of course I was standing over there filming with the drone, and my son hollered that was it for the day. So I decided, okay, I'll just go in and land. Did a fantastic landing again. I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.